U.S. equities are lower this morning, but they are off their lows as I speak to you right now. We're looking at the Dow down about 1.3%, the S&P down about 1.1%, the NASDAQ down a little bit less than 1%, and the Russell down about 0.6% as the Ukraine-Russia situation seems to be intensifying, although there are attempts at diplomacy going on along the Belarus border. Advanced financial sanctions were put in place over the weekend by the partners in Europe as well as the U.S., including some limitation from the SWIFT messaging system for banking. So seems to be accelerating, and the pressure is getting even harder on Russia in terms of the sanctions. But we've got yields falling, volatility rising, and precious metals rising as well. As I speak to you right now, we have the 2-year down at 146 on a yield, 155 close on Friday for that 2-year, 176 versus 186 on the 5-year, 197 versus a current yield level of 189 on the 10-year, and a 229 settle on Friday is down to 223 on the 30-year. So the more intense move in the short end is causing a steepening of the yield curve. Again, that could be why stocks are off the lows, but they are still negative. A concerted SPR release is being discussed as well for crude oil, as we saw crude spike back up in the WTI level above 99, above 100 on Brent. And as we're looking at this concerted SPR release, some of the numbers thrown about in the media has been about 60 million barrels to be released, a big portion from the U.S. and some other consumers of crude oil releasing from their reserves as well. So we'll see how that plays out. That could be capping crude oil. And looking ahead, we've got ECB President Christine Lagarde speaking later today. President Biden's State of the Union speech will happen tonight here in the U.S. And then as we continue to wind down earnings season, after close today, we get HP, Zoom, Workday, Lucid Group, GoodRx, Novavax, and Acadia, both their medical unit and their pharmaceutical unit. And then tomorrow before the open, we get Target, Kohl's, Baidu, AutoZone, Hormel, and Domino's. In terms of data, tonight into the morning, we get China's FBS manufacturing and non-manufacturing PMI for February. Then into the early morning hours, we had Germany's February preliminary year-over-year inflation rate, their retail sales as well, Canadian Q4 GDP, and U.S. final Feb manufacturing PMI from market, as well as the ISM's manufacturing PMI for February in the U.S.